Memory, 4573. Jane sits at the head of the table, her eyes glazing over as her producers go through the laundry list of story ideas. A dog rescue in an affluent Californian suburb. Long-lost twins reunited at a dentist conference. Cakes that look like things that aren't cakes. Jane sighs, rubs her temples. We didn't get where we are with stories about cakes. I don't want to produce fluff. Do we have anything with some substance? Terrence, her senior producer, squints at his laptop screen. I might have one. A mother in Brooklyn is looking for more information about her missing daughter, a documentarian. Went missing while interviewing her father's killer at a penitentiary up north. Story has everything. Loss, gang violence, racism. Jane winces at his blunt and reductive commentary, but leans forward. I'm listening. Well, the mother, she's been doing her own research. And she's saying some pretty out there stuff. She's been talking to guards there, and they're saying some stuff about cold spikes, prisoners going berserk since her disappearance. The kind of stuff I don't think we can air. Let's get her down here. We'll do the interview, focus on their relationship. I'll do what I can to keep her on track, and we can cut anything that gets too strange. Her executive producer looks up from his phone for the first time all meeting. I don't think so. The paranormal stuff isn't going to play well with the advertisers, not our demo. It's a compelling story, Charlie. It will play. Charlie shrugs. We're not live. I'll just have the editors cut anything that is too out there. Then we run the dog rescue story after the interview to bring it back to Earth. Jane starts to say something, but stops herself. She knows how to pick her battles with Charlie. She knows how to lead an interview. Memory, 4574. Noor Kassir's eyes are wide open as she takes in everything on the busy set. Jane exhales, remembers how overwhelmed she was the first time she stepped on the set of Quick Talk. I know it seems like a lot, but remember, when we're on the stage, it's just you and me. I just can't believe I'm here. I've been watching your show every day. Jane smiles. Glad you're enjoying it. She starts to gesture toward the craft services table when a harried PA comes to keep them moving. We need to get you to makeup, Miss Kassir. Noor nods as the PA guides her away, and Jane heads to her own dressing room. Terrence is waiting for her there, clipboard in hand. Okay, Jane, so the pre-interview was a lot. She's really intent on talking about her theories on the disappearance. I'd avoid talking about the prison if you can. If that's where the conversation goes, that's what we'll talk about. She takes the clipboard and commits as much of it to memory as she can before her cue. She takes a quick look in the mirror, takes a breath, heads to the stage. Her music plays, the crowd claps and cheers. She gives them her trademark grin. After she gets through her lighthearted opening banter, she pauses for a moment, lets the crowd's volume drop, puts on a serious face. Our first guest today has a remarkable and terrible story. One of struggle, loss, and perhaps hope. Please join me in welcoming Noor Kassir. The crowd warmly applauds as Noor comes to the stage, sits with Jane, and the two begin to speak. They start at the very beginning. Noor's immigration, the challenges she faced in New York through the 90s, the birth of her daughter. She struggles to keep it together as she talks about her little girl, her passion for telling stories. Jane barely has to ask a single question. Noor has the entire audience hanging on her every word. But what I really want to talk about is the black fog, Jane. Charlie's voice crackles in her earpiece. Get her off of this, Jane. Jane discreetly pulls the earpiece out, leans forward. Black fog? Noor stares down the barrel of her camera, emboldened. The guards spoke of a black fog. If anyone knows more about this, please let me know. Jane's theme music starts to play, and Noor looks at her, shocked and a little hurt. Jane snaps her head towards the booth. Charlie stands at the glass and moves his hand across his neck, telling her this is getting cut. Thank you so much, Noor, for sharing your story with us today. The PA motions for Noor to come back to the entrance. She gets up, hugs Jane, and leaves, bewildered. Wow, truly an incredible story of perseverance. Up next, we'll be talking to a woman who was saved from a fire by her dog and has now committed her life to paying it forward, starting a dog rescue in her community. Memory, 4,575. Jane bursts into Charlie's office, slams the door behind her. That was an incredible interview. I cannot believe you cut her off like that. I'll call you back, Terrence. No! He can stay on. Put it on speaker. Charlie leans back in his chair, unfazed. It didn't make the cut for the episode, Jane. We got plenty of good stuff at the beginning. We ran that. Terrence's voice cuts in from the speaker. Thing is, the online production team didn't get the memo. The extended cut was posted on socials. All they're talking about is this black fog thing. Charlie clenches his jaw. I don't want this to be my show. This isn't some AM radio conspiracy nonsense. Jane stands up straight, looks Charlie dead in the eyes. This show got as far as it did talking about things that others are too afraid to talk about. You think Morning Today is talking about this stuff? You think Heather would even consider it? We are making something special here, Charlie. People are talking. The advertisers will come. We don't come back from this, Jane. They're gonna paint you with the wacko brush. The next thing you know, this is all people will want from us. Do we have anything lined up to bring us back from this? Terrence's voice pipes up again. Well, here's the thing. Aside from all the noise, we've gotten some pretty interesting calls on this one. Other people saying that they've lost friends, family members, and they're all mentioning this black fog. Charlie sneers. Okay, so what? You put strange stuff out there, you're gonna get strange callers. It's not just that. It's the outbursts of emotion, the fear, the drops in temperature. I've spoken to a few of these people, and their stories are exactly the same as Ms. Cassier's. We're not going down this rabbit hole, Terrence. Jane heads for the door. Send me the briefs, Terrence. I want to follow this one. And one more thing, Charlie. This isn't your show. It has my name on it, and we do this my way. Memory, 4,576. Within a month, the production team had an entire week of interviews lined up. Jane spent the lead-up poring over the pre-interviews, the similarities in their stories, the feelings of her upcoming guests. And each night, she tossed and turned, unable to sleep. She would close her eyes and she would see a black fog encroaching on her bed, or on the soundstage, or under the door of her dressing room. If it were her, who would tell her story? It was during one of these late nights that she decided her angle on these stories. Encourage those who lost friends and family to focus on the memories of these people. A woman comes on and talks about her former co-worker, a timid man who steeled his nerves to stand up to an executive tyrant, long before his disappearance. Jane prods her to remember his quiet, kind demeanor. and his moral fiber. How he refused a big payout in lieu of justice. How she and a few friends used to get together every year to talk trash about their old boss, but now get together to talk about the good times with their old co-worker, Dwight. A mother told the heart-wrenching story of the disappearance of her daughter, a promising young scientist who she never quite understood but loved dearly. She spoke of the school her daughter went to and how, after her disappearance, her childhood school took her notebooks and built an introductory botany curriculum from the notes, inspiring dozens of children to explore and appreciate the natural sciences. A young man spoke of his mother, who committed her life to the city library. They spoke of her disappearance, and Jane did not shy away from the stranger parts of the story. How he went to the library every day after she disappeared, and the otherworldly fear he felt every time he went to the basement. But she gently guided him back to remembering his mother. How she encouraged neighborhood children to appreciate literature. How she helped struggling children learn to read and enjoy reading. How she treated the stacks like her garden. And how hundreds of young people from all over the city came to her funeral. A university student on exchange from Japan spoke of an English teacher he had before he moved to America. How the man had brought a love of language and of culture to the classroom every day and made learning English fun. How he and many of the students in that class excelled in later classes, moved to English-speaking countries, and found themselves thriving. The through line was always the same. Strange disappearances, unnatural events, black fog. And the broadcast cut none of it. But the social media feedback changed in tenor. No longer was it about the creepy sides of the story, but people eulogizing and remembering those important to them. The numbers came in at the end of the week, and for the first time, Jane's show is #1 in her time slot, and it isn't even close. Charlie sends flowers to her home. She sends them back. There's talk of awards, and it happened Jane's way. But still something eats at her. She cannot stop picturing that black fog around every corner. Terrence knocks at her dressing room door. She lets him in. Hiya, Jane. Just wanted a debrief on the stories we did this week. What's the network saying? I'm not really here to talk about that. Let Charlie deal with that stuff. I just wanted to thank you. Thank me? For what? Terrence sticks his hands in his pockets, shuffles awkwardly. I got into this business to do something real, to help tell people's real stories. And the past 20 years, working on the other shows the network had in this slot, it's been a never-ending parade of cats who say mama and fad diets. Working on your show has been different. This week especially. I'm really glad I'm working with you, Jane. Jane gets up from her chair, hugs Terrence. Thanks. I think I really needed to hear that right now. Memory 4577. You've got to be kidding me! Look, Jane, this doesn't come from me. This is coming from even higher up. Jane stares at Charlie, whose usual aloof demeanor has evaporated. He's anxious. Nobody's even talking about the supernatural stuff anymore. You want me to dredge that all back up? And shoot on location? We don't do remotes. I don't know who, but someone on the board is furious that we gave this story air. They want to kill it once and for all. Just go to the prison, show people the abandoned wing, show them that there's nothing there. We can put it at the end of Friday's show. And what if I don't? They gonna try and replace me? Terrence crosses his arms. If they try to pull that, they're gonna lose me and about half of the production and direction teams. Charlie finishes his glass of water, pours another. Jane's never seen him like this. He's sweating. Jane, at this point, you are ratings gold. And honestly, with the numbers the show has been doing, I don't want to do this either. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I want to. Charlie lowers his voice. The way they were talking about burying this story, I really don't think you should cross them. This is coming from shareholders, powerful people. I'm begging you, just fly up there, get a little footage of some empty hallways, fly back. We can charter a jet there and back, have you home in time for dinner. That same fear crawls back into Jane's head. The look on Charlie's face makes it seem like he's dealing with that same fear. This isn't one of those arguments where Charlie won't back down. This is Charlie backed into a corner. All right, I'll do it. Set it up. We'll get this done. But you owe me one. Charlie lets loose a heavy sigh. Thank you, Jane. You're the best. Hey, and besides, what's the worst that can happen? A few hours on a corporate jet and a few minutes shooting? I can think of worse ways to spend a day. Jane bites her lip. Pictures that prison. Pictures the fog. Cold. The emotions. All right. What's the worst that could happen?